speaking of unfortunate realities, I have a breaking news update. Matt Gaetz has been nominated as Attorney General. I cannot begin to explain to you how much worse shit can get.
It's so stupid.
Imagine the worst possible outcome. Imagine the worst possible outcome that could happen. Now imagine it being infinitely worse. Matt Gaetz has been nominated as Attorney General. It's my great honor to announce that Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida is hereby nominated to be the Attorney General of the United States. Oh my God, the never-kevers have risen up and they are taking over the goddamn government. Holy fuck. They are abolishing age of consent, dude. Oh my Lord. This man has active investigations into his, like, pedophilia. What? What the fuck? Can we go back a few saves? No, we need a fucking reset, dude. Oh my Lord, dude. Holy fuck. Oh. If the Senate confirms him, witness tells House Ethics Committee that Matt Gaetz paid her for sex. Several women who were witnesses of the DOJ probe that have been interviewed. The House Ethics Committee probed Matt Gaetz for alleged sexual misconduct. And now Donald Trump wants to make him the Attorney General. Now, if you know anything about the Republican Party, a guy with active pedophilia allegations and sex trafficking allegations on him is a perfect person to put into a position of power. I am reminded of Dennis Hastert, the longest running Speaker of the House. Dennis Hastert is a Republican, was a Republican, and was the longest running record-breaking Speaker of the House. He broke another record, the most prolific pedophile. There was suspicion that a lot of people knew that he was a pedophile at the time, but because of his active pedophilia, his serial pedophilia, it made him controllable. So I suspect not only is Matt Gaetz a diehard pro-Trump guy, but he also has, blackmail on himself, which Trump can use if given the opportunity. This is incredible stuff. Yeah, it's leverage, okay? I'm not touching whatever that link is. This is called leverage, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. Holy fuck! This country is in the pooper, okay? This country is in the dumps. We are so cooked. Dude. Donald Trump wants loyalists in his fucking orbit, okay? He wants loyalists in his orbit, and he wants the generals to be loyal to him. This is a man who unironically learned the worst lessons he possibly could have from the last administration. The last time he wanted to do shit like January 6th and numerous other things, there were people in his cabinet that actively fought against him, or at the very least were open to criticizing him or maybe even stopping him. Okay? When, and he was like, all right, well, I'm going to make sure that never happens again. It's fucking over. So he basically is filling his cabinet with loyalists. Okay? People have stood by him. People that will fight tooth and nail for whatever his wishes are, no matter how insane or unhinged. And this is precisely the reason why I fucking lose my mind when I see photos like this. When I see shit like this, I'm like, you're so fake. You're so fucking phony. You are so goddamn phony, dude. You said he was a fucking fascist, which he is. And now you're just friendly with the fascists? Like, what message are you giving to the American public? And I know what message they're giving to the American public. The message is, guys, we have a much greater enemy, okay? And that is trans people. That is socialism. That is communism. No way you're still on this? What are you talking about, dude? What do you mean, no way I'm still on this? I'm on this now.
Matt Gaetz, Jeffrey Clark,
get off this dick, chatter. Wake the fuck up.
Matt Gaetz, that would result in a number of important people, the people that make the place run at DOJ, saying, no, I can't be a part of this. I'm going to walk.
Well, that issue of whether you stay or whether you walk is a complicated one. It's certainly, I think, for people who are serious people who, as I said, are used to the idea that elections have come.
Chatter was like, move on, man. Politics is over. The election ended, you know? Yeah, don't look ahead at the dire prospect of American tomorrow, American future.
Are just so extreme that they can't agree as a policy matter, in which, then it's their choice to leave, or ask them to do things that are simply unsupported by the facts. So that your example of January 6th is a really good one, because you had people who were Trump appointees who are saying, we cannot do this. You had the acting attorney general, you had the acting deputy attorney general, you had the head of the Office of Legal Counsel, sort of three of the most prominent people at the Department of Justice, all selected by Donald Trump, saying they cannot do this. And so what I see with these announcements is
John Cornyn says he's trying to still absorb all this. When asked about Gaetz for AG and Gabbard for DNI, Cornyn visiting raised his eyebrows when first informed by the press of the Gaetz pick.
And that is,
by the way,
a fine point.
They will all stand down, just so you understand. Anytime you hear a Republican be like, well, I don't know about all this, like, do not be hopeful, okay? Lest you be misguided in this moment.
Moskowitz from Florida, as is Matt Gaetz. Just your reaction to this. I mean, this news just broke. It's out on Trump's Truth Social. Is the Hill abuzz with the news? Is your phone blowing up over this? Give us a sense of what's going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, this is what the American people voted for, right? I mean,
Oh my God, they're literally like, oh no, we're punishing the voters. They're punishing the fucking voters.
In Matt Gaetz, he's not only going to get someone who's fiercely loyal, but fiercely competent. Matt Gaetz knows exactly what to do with the Attorney General's office. He will turn that into be most powerful Attorney General in American history. I know Matt well. We served together in the legislature in Florida. In fact, Matt was the one who was part of the transition team of Ron DeSantis.
What are you saying? He's a fucking demon, dog.
Director of Emergency Management in the state of Florida. And so, Trump was very clear on what he wanted to do with government. And in Matt Gaetz, he is going to get a very competent, very powerful Attorney General.
So what do you think he is going to do as AG, if confirmed?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously he's got a boss in Donald Trump, but anyone thinking that Donald Trump was just ready to move forward, that is clearly not the case. And so, at the end of the day, this is what happens. Elections have consequences. We talked about this during the election, but at the end of the day, Matt was a former prosecutor, former attorney in private practice. He is a fierce Donald Trump loyalist. Matt has prosecuted the case in Congress for Donald Trump for years, and now he's going to get to do that on behalf of the American people if it gets confirmed.
I've heard from some of your Democratic colleagues in the House who are concerned, this was before Matt Gaetz was the pick, that a Trump DOJ might target them, that they could be investigated. Do you think that is going to be part of Gaetz's repertoire? Is he going to be settling scores?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Matt or speak for the Trump administration, but I'm pretty sure they're not just going to go.
What are these guys saying?
Well, I'm pretty sure with this
like
pick,
what?
They're not just going to go around
What is the
and shut down
Democratic
Puppy
response to this?
Right, this is
everything that they're saying,
pick.
everything that they've said this past week makes me feel like they are receptive to the Trump fascist takeover. I feel like they're more predisposed with shitting on trans people and woke more than they are of like the upcoming second Trump agenda, the upcoming second Trump regime. That is fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, look at this. I agree. Thanks for tuning in, Hasan the Hun. Don't forget to subscribe. We're already on to you, though. Child predators use Twitch to systematically track kids. Congressman Matt Gaetz joins Twitch. This motherfucker is now the Attorney General, potentially, if appointed. What the hell's going on?
For DOD, Tulsi Gabbard for for Director of National Intelligence. What is the most concerning? What are the most comforting picks for you when it comes to the issue of national security or foreign relations?
Well, look, I think the meeting of all these people is going to be fascinating and problematic. I mean, you got Marco Rubio and Mike Waltz. Those folks are very serious about policy and protecting America, are tough on Iran, tough on China, tough on Russia. And then in the DOD picks and in intelligence, you have folks kind of on the opposite side of that. And so, I think it's gonna be fascinating to watch the power struggle, the power balance between all of these folks. But we're also acting like everyone's gonna get through Senate confirmation, and we'll have to see which ones do and which ones don't. Some of these folks are clearly more qualified. Mike Waltz, Marco Rubio, clearly more qualified for these positions than the other folks. But again, Donald Trump told everybody what he wanted to do. This is not a secret. And so the fact that this is now playing out in real time, elections have consequences.
Congressman Jared Moskowitz, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We have much more on our breaking news ahead. Congressman Matt Gaetz chosen by President-elect Trump to serve as his Attorney General. Stay with us.
I'm a little confused as to this is what I was also trying to bring up in terms of like resistance media is not going to be the same as it was before. I don't think resistance media is going to do resistance media shit like they did in 2016. This is the other aspect of this. Not only do I feel like they are gearing up for a ratings bump, which will come, but not in the degree that they think it will, right? Due to how the media landscape operates now. There's way too many independent voices out there. There's way too much diversity of information out there for them to, dominate the space. But beyond that, I think resistance libs are gearing up their primary base, like the news watchers, okay, into submission. How likely do you think it's going to be to pass the Senate? I have no belief whatsoever that these GOP senators are going to do the right thing. Okay. If you feel like these goddamn vultures are ever going to do the right thing and be like, we're striking this down, I'm telling you right now, you're wrong. Everyone's saying, oh, but the confirmations, remember that recess appointments are a thing. If the Senate plus House is convinced to go on break for 10 plus days, Trump can appoint everyone in one day. He can slam through everyone instantly and they don't need a confirmation hearing. It's so bad. Yes. And who's going to stop them? The Supreme Court? What do you think? You think the Supreme Court is going to stop it? Yeah. If you're thinking that these monstrous pieces of shit are going to be your salvation, you're wrong. And it feels like even the Democrats are not there to fight against this. And it feels like the media is not there to even talk about how devastating this is. Oh my God. Scoop, Schumer eyeing omnibus, possibly minibus government funding package for the end of the year. Senate Dems focused on wrapping fiscal year 2025 by December per sources. Will set up a clash between Schumer and Johnson. Is Schumer still slapping on that anti-Semitism bill onto this or no? I wonder what America's going to look like in 4 years. Canadian neighbor here. In the last week, I have heard so many unhinged things. Okay. In the last week, I've heard so many unhinged fucking things from the Republican side, gearing up to possibly fucking bomb Mexico, fighting the cartels, like just incredible escalations. The entire cabinet is chock full of the most rabid war hawks, which was of course expected, as I told you over and over and over again. They are going to pick apart what remains of the carcass of the American government and turn it into the anarcho-capitalist dystopia that they always wanted it to be. Fascism is upon us. House Democratic Leader Jeffries, what does he have to say about this? This is Nancy Pelosi's handpicked replacement, right?
There's enough evidence at the House level or at the Senate level to suggest that this was an anti-incumbent thing when 90% of our 31 battleground incumbents outran the national environment and are on their way back to the United States House of Representatives. That's not an anti-incumbent wave because the overwhelming majority of them would have been swept away.
Yeah, he's saying that it's just in the hands of Biden, which I think is correct. Biden could also reappoint Lena Khan, and Schumer could confirm her in the lame duck, which would preserve a Dem majority on the FTC for a couple years. For your information, the Dems haven't yet confirmed Biden's last NLRB nomination, even though this would maintain a Democratic board through late 2026. It would at least give the Republicans something to fight against, but I don't even know if they're going to do this. Here's the devil's advocate Cope from those who believe in the Senate. This is Cope. Thune won the majority election over 2 MAGA candidates. MAGA idiots are mad. Thune already said the filibuster will stay no matter what, and he will have confirmation hearings, aka he won't go on recess. I doubt he has the balls to stand up to the bully pulpit. Yes, I don't think he will. I don't think anyone will. The institution defenders within the Republican establishment are not exactly happy about the instability, the volatility that Trump presents. But judging by their track record, and because we have the last Trump administration to point to, every single one of those guys was brought to heel. Okay? Because Donald Trump, in many respects, is the logical conclusion of years and years of reactionary propaganda. He is not all that different. Like, his ideological goals are directly aligned with those who are at the tippy top of society, those elites, those major corporate shareholders. He is going to give them deregulation. He is going to offer them as many tax cuts as possible. So ultimately, they'll play ball. As long as they get their tax cuts, they'll always play ball. And that's precisely what happened. Jim Scuito says, why? Why can't they believe it? Trump has been telegraphing moves such as this for 4 years. They have no reasonable basis to be surprised. It's disingenuous. Senator Manchin says senators are now talking about Gabbard and Gaetz picks on the Senate floor right now. No one can believe it. Yeah, I think it's fake. When people say that they can't believe it, they're stating that because that's the appropriate thing to say. But if you feel comfortable that these guys will do the right thing, you're wrong. You'd be wrong. Just letting you know. Okay? I want you to understand you would be very, very wrong. These guys are going to they're hope it's wrong, but I'm hearing through the grapevine about this bonkers plan. Trump would adjourn both houses of Congress under Article 2, Section 3, and then recess appoint his cabinet. As predicate for Trump's exercise of adjournment power, one house of Congress would seek others' consent to adjourn and be denied. So Speaker of the House would need to be complicit in evisceration of Senate's advice and consent role. House Speaker Mike Johnson needs to say no to this right away. If he can't do that, then he has the bully pulpit, right? If he can't do that, then he can utilize the bully pulpit to his advantage. That's the other thing. He'll bully the Republicans into submission. That's what he's going to do. Bully pulpit is just a term for the president speaking. That's it. That's what it is. A senator told me, rumor on the Hill is that Elon Musk is threatening to fund a primary challenge to any House Republican who doesn't fall in line with Trump's agenda. There it is. I mean, I don't know how valid this is, but it's completely in line with his past performance. So it's not even remotely shocking to me that he would do such a thing. And anyone who would be surprised by such a thing is silly. A sign of how easily some Senate Republicans might cave on Gaetz. Mullen has previously accused Gaetz of sleeping with an underage girl, showing off videos of girls he slept with on the floor, and bragging about taking ED meds to go all night. Yeah, Mark Wayne Mullen said, you got to think about this guy. This guy that didn't have, that the media didn't give the time of day to after he was accused of sleeping with an underage girl. And there was a reason why no one in the conference came and defended him, because we had all seen the videos he was showing on the House floor that all of us had walked away of the girls he had slept with. He bragged about how he'd crush ED medicine and chase it with energy drinks so he could go all night. This is obviously before he got married. And so when that accusation came out, no one defended him. And then no one in the media would give him the time of day. All of a sudden, he found fame because he opposed the Speaker of the House back in November. And he's always stayed there. And he was never going to leave until he got his last moment of fame by going after a motion to vacate. That was Mark Wayne Mullen shitting on Matt Gaetz not that long ago. Here's Mark Wayne Mullen now, as we watched in real time. When asked by Jake Tapper, are you going to vote for Matt Gaetz? Mark Wayne Mullen, I completely trust President Trump's decision-making on this one. Now, Jake Tapper is a journalist, or is supposed to be a journalist. And what's really interesting about this situation is that if I remember Mark Wayne Mullins saying stuff like that, why the fuck does Jake Tapper not remember that? He has a shit ton of producers, does he not? Why can't you hit Mark Wayne Mullins with that quote and be like, hey, remember when you said this about the guy who you're saying you're going to confirm? Like, why? Why can't you do your job? This is like bare minimum shit. This is bare minimum shit. This is not like, I'm not asking people to go above and beyond. I'm simply asking these guys that are currently facing down a crisis in journalism to do journalism, to restore some semblance of faith that the American population will place upon you, because it is needed. Okay? It is needed. That's what's so frustrating about this, is that, like, while I am unimaginably critical of mainstream media, I also still recognize the necessity of mainstream media. But it seems like a lot of these people in positions of power do not give a shit. They don't care. They have their heads stuck in the goddamn sand.
So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl, 17-year-old woman who...
This interview was really funny because he was like, well, Tucker, I hung out with you and her. And he was like, whoa, 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 don't involve me in this. Oh, Jesus Christ. 2 GOP senators. A House Republican tells me, Farnoosh Amiri, me and Farnoosh Amiri of Associated Press, that 2 Republican senators have already texted him that they will not vote to confirm Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Name them. Names, or you made it up. Yeah, they're going to fucking come after these people. This could be a false flag. Let Gaetz fail so you can pick someone else who wouldn't usually get confirmed, but Republicans are less likely to say no twice to Trump. I think that is too smart. I think personally, this is my 2021 video on Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz the Creep 3 years ago from 2021 with almost 1 million fucking views. Go watch that to understand all of the severity of the allegations, the accusations launched towards this man. Another thing that I need you guys to understand, going back to what I was talking about, okay? I think that the Matt Gaetz pick is like being a false flag. Matt Gaetz pick being a false flag for a you know, still unacceptable pick that Republicans can't say no to twice is too smart for the Trump campaign. I think that they just are not thinking like that. I think they're just trying to boulder their way. I think that Matt Gaetz, given Matt Gaetz' background and given his loyalty to Donald Trump, because he's been in rooms with Donald Trump every single time, I just don't think that I don't think that they're thinking beyond that. They're like, nah, he's loyal and he's also controllable. I think they want him. Certified UNC on the Gaetz nomination. Appointing Matt Gaetz as Attorney General seems to be a message that we're not interested in stopping crimes. We're interested in committing more. I think he's a sacrificial lamb for the Senate to not confirm. But if he's confirmed, that means there are no bounds left at all. Matt Gaetz at defense would have made more sense because I believe him a little bit that he's anti-war. But there's almost no chance that Gaetz won't target his political enemies as Attorney General. The chance of him honestly and impartially enforcing the laws hovers around 0%. Yeah, wow. These Trump Republicans have no respect for law and order, I feel like. Rep. Mike Simpson, a senior GOP appropriator, asked if Gaetz has the experience and character to be Attorney General. Are you shitting me that you just asked me that question? No, but hell, you'll print that, and now I'm going to be investigated. Matt Gaetz's wife is a part of the family who made Oculus, which is acquired by Facebook, which Peter Thiel still remains on the board of. Do you think that means anything? The false flag seems to be too big brain. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a false flag. I think this is infinitely more. That guy also does defense contracts now, right? The Oculus guy. Doesn't he also have defense contracts now? Palmer Luckey. Yeah, these guys are like a part of the Silicon Valley orbit of these guys are all the Silicon Valley libertarians that are totally in the tank for Donald Trump and have been so. So I think Matt Gaetz is doubly connected to the administration. If you watch all of those like behind the scenes documentaries about Donald Trump, I mean, Matt Gaetz was in every fucking room all the time. Okay, he was helping with his like debate performance, yada, yada, yada. Palmer Luckey and other defense tech leaders see Trump's victory as a win for the industry. This man is Matt Gaetz's brother-in-law now. To be fair, Chatter is kind of doing some conspiracy shit. Wife is part of Oculus, bought by Facebook, where Peter Thiel is on the board. has nothing to do with Palmer Luckey. No, Palmer Luckey and all of these like Palantir, Peter Thiel, Andes are all defense contractors that have been very excited for a Trump victory. They've been in the tank for Donald Trump. So Matt Gaetz is also doubly connected on that regard as well, because there's a reason why they chose J.D. Vance, right? There's a reason why they chose J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance was like to assure the Peter Thiel and the Silicon Valley VC guys that they will have a say in the upcoming administration. These guys are all some of the biggest fucking libertarian nut jobs, by the way. Palmer Luckey is Matt Gaetz's brother-in-law. I remember listening to an interview with not Palmer Luckey, but with a Google guy alongside, I think it was like Mark Milley or something, giving an interview to NPR about what they want to do with the Defense Department. And let me tell you, okay, they don't have good ideas. They're talking about reinventing the procurement strategies and talking about how America has fallen behind in terms of like innovative war tech. What the fuck? I'm dying a little bit. Innovative war tech and how they have to get faster at producing new technology in the field of battle and, you know, test it out like they are doing in Ukraine. Yeah, everybody hates this fucking guy, but
when you see the anonymous sources and insiders forecasting my demise, know this. They aren't really coming for me. They're coming for you. I'm just in the way.
Oh my God, everybody
That was
says
Matt
this.
Gaetz in 2021, we should note. So he was right that the reports of his demise were premature. To note, the Gaetz had sought a preemptive presidential pardon from Trump over a Justice Department investigation. That is according to a Trump aide who testified at the January 6th hearing.
You should not forgive the Democratic Party for losing to this incompetent, sociopathic campaign. Okay? Like, the fact that they threw as though like this does not the fact that they threw caution to the wind as though these guys did not represent a dangerous path forward. And now they're just glad handling and shaking hands and slapping asses. And they're back to business as usual politics, like as though this shit is not objectively fucking terrifying and dire for America's prospects. Like every time I see these fucking assholes smiling next to one another, I'm like, what are you doing? I thought this shit sucked. I thought he was a fascist. I thought you ran against him in 2020 to restore the soul of the nation, and not because you selfishly wanted to be president after trying and attempting to be president since 1988. But yeah, go ahead, chatters, liberal chatters that come in here to be like, Hasan, I can't believe you keep saying both sides are the same. I'm not saying both sides are the same, but the Democrats keep saying they clearly are not afraid of the other side as much as I am. When you present this narrative that Trump is a dangerous fascist and then turn around and you know, kiss his fucking ass like this and don't do anything in the lame duck to, you know, beef up American democracy and the American institutions, well, I guess you don't believe he's a fascist at all. You were just kind of saying that. Or you do believe he's a fascist and you like it because you're a fucking fascist too. There's no secret third option here. Like, which is it then? Which is it? What is it? What's going on here?